Well, the Falcons are back on the gridiron tomorrow for the first preseason game. So the Fox 5 Sports team is already hard at work covering the Dirty Birds.
Yeah, you can see some of that on Rise Up Tonight with Kelly Price, who is here in studio with us this morning with a sneak peek of tonight's show. I can't believe it's already time for this.
I can't believe it's preseason week number 1. Yeah. I mean, where did the offseason go? It's been a busy one, obviously, bringing in Kirk Cousins, lots of other new faces for the Falcons.
I know. It's going to be very exciting to watch. All right, so for Kirk Cousins' wife, we know this is actually home for her.
Right.
What does all of this mean to her?
Yeah, for Falcons fans who maybe aren't aware, Julie Cousins, Kirk Cousins' wife, is from Alpharetta. She was born at Northside Hospital. Her parents have lived here since the 80s. She said they'll probably never move. As you see here, here's a bunch of her family that actually came out to see Kirk Cousins when he was playing for the Vikings at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So there's a big family connection here. I know Kirk Cousins has talked a lot about watching Falcons games and Hawks games and Braves games on the couch with his father-in-law and seeing his frustration as an Atlanta sports fan. So pretty cool that they now maybe get to be a part of changing some of that narrative.
Wow.
And I understand Julie is becoming a crowd favorite, if you will. For those who aren't familiar, what's the Netflix show that she really blew up on?
Well, and that's where a lot of people, even before they came to Atlanta, knew her from, and just across the whole NFL kind of landscape, fans know her. She was really kind of went viral and was really popular for being just kind of normal, just being herself. And I actually asked her about this, about, what was kind of your approach to that? Because Kirk kind of just told her, hey, we're going to do this series, and they just kind of showed up whenever. So they didn't really have a lot of notice when it happened. So Julie told me I would be in PJs sometimes, and she was like, the best approach I had was just be myself. And so people really resonated with that.
Relatability is everything.
Right. And when you're kind of blindsided by that, so to speak, that's all you can do is be yourself.
Right.
All right, so you showed us that big extended family there. I mean, how excited must they be? You kind of touched on this, to be a part of everything that's going to be happening now that he's on the team.
Yeah, Julie talked about how she's a planner, so she loves planning when all these family members and stuff would come to games in the past as well. But now that they're all here, they have season tickets. They have a 50 kind of member block of people who are going to have season tickets at Mercedes-Benz Stadiums for Falcons games this fall. Her dad wanted to call it Cousins Corner, and she was kind of like, I don't really want to draw that much attention to ourselves. But I actually have a soundbite here of her talking about that.
Like I said, it just really has not sunken in. On the way down, I think maybe I started to think, wow, I'm going to have almost 100 people interested in going to the games, probably. How are we going to handle this? And I started reaching out to my relatives just to say, do you think you would want to go to almost every game? Because maybe we should all get season tickets. And I started brainstorming, and almost every single one of my aunts and uncles and my cousins and my brothers, they all said yes. That's awesome. And that shows you how excited they are to get behind it, to get behind the team. And we support all the teams, so hopefully it's okay, and we are under the radar a little bit. They wanted to do matching t-shirts.
Not under the radar at all.
We'll see.
So yeah, maybe they don't want to have the matching t-shirts like that one picture, but we'll see what happens. They'll obviously be a part of a lot of the games this fall, and they're all really excited to see Kirk be a part of this team.
She's so cute. Her hair is perfect. I know. Take a screenshot and take that in. Do me like this. But for those of us who are hopeless romantics, I understand they have a really cute local connection to how they met.
Right. So actually, this is such a strange, crazy story she was telling me. Her mom taught with a woman at Milton High School who knew Kirk Cousins and his family growing up in Michigan. I guess she had moved here at some point and somehow met the Hamptons, which is Julie's maiden name's family, and told her when she was in college at the University of Georgia, you really need to meet this Kirk Cousins fellow. He'd be great for you. And she was like, yeah, right. Like, how's that going to work? He's in Michigan, I'm here. And here's her kind of talking about how that all worked out.
She said, Julie, you need to meet Kirk Cousins. You guys would be great together. And this is my last year at the University of Georgia, and I knew, once she explained it, I knew Kirk was in Michigan, and I thought, oh, great, but how would I ever cross paths with him? Sounds like a great idea, but we'll see. And a few months later, Georgia and Michigan State were matched up in a bowl game in Tampa, Florida, where you said you're from. And I was going to go to the game anyways, and so the matchmaker made her way down there, and she said, how about we just introduce you after the game? And that's what happened. I just said, hi, I'm Julie, and I know Becky, and that was really it. We just said hi, and a few months later he called me and asked me on a date. But I just believe that we were meant to be.
I had to get the backstory there because I was like, did he just see you in the crowd and was like,
Right.
that's the one? Like, how do you
only.
meet at a bowl game as a fan of the opposing team? So I just thought that was cute.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to ask though, because you mentioned I think it was the father-in-law. He saw his father-in-law's frustration as an Atlanta sports fan. Do you think that Kirk Cousins feels like a little extra pressure now that he's playing for the Falcons?
I mean, I think all that pressure is stuff he's putting on himself in the first place. He wants to win more than anybody, maybe even more than some fans. You know, he wants to win for himself, to win playoff games, to win a championship here. But I think it does give a little added motivation when you have, you know, they were sleeping in their parents' basement for the first couple of months that they were here. It does add a little motivation, and obviously to do that for this city, I think it also would mean a lot to Kirk Cousins because he knows the history there.
Well, here's to rising.
Yes, yes.
It's going to be a very exciting season. Kelly, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
And you can watch Rise Up tonight with Kelly Price in its new time slot, Thursdays at midnight, right here on Fox 5. And don't miss Early Birds Saturday mornings and at 8:30, and the Dirty Bird Report Sunday nights at 11:30.